And maybe like 1 minute later, after the taxi had left, I paused and went, but where's my hat? Where's my hat? My hat's freaking gone. Unfortunately, my hat never came back. Hey, good morning. Morning walk, episode 86. Coming to you from Longreach this morning in Western Queensland. In fact, it's basically like right in the centre of Queensland. Pretty much as close to the Northern Territory border as we are from the ocean, and as close to the north as we are from the south. It's hard to get more central than where we are here. And just come out for a little bit of a stroll on the main street. Wander around town before we hit the road and get out of here. Let's go for a walk and have a chat. I really feel like being in this part of the world, having my Akubra, finally fits in. And it's funny, I often get asked like why I wear a hat, because being in Sydney most of the year, you don't usually wear a hat. Well, most people don't, but up here it kind of makes perfect sense. And it also comes down to back when I was a kid, I must have been like 5 or 6 years old. My parents bought this cassette tape of classic Australian bush music. It's like bush bands where they'd sing about camping under the stars and shearing sheep and all that kind of stuff. And I just fell in love with that cassette tape. Me and my brothers basically played that thing over and over and over and over until it was just like dead. And I don't know, it's like that music, that Australian country bush music just infused me. And along with that, my family and I used to go on our holidays occasionally out into the centre of New South Wales, places like Coonabarabran and Mudgee, Wellington. And I just think being out there in the Australian bush and that music that like had infused me, I don't know, it just gave me this taste for the Australian country. But even though I'm not from the country, I kind of feel like I should be from the country. Does that make sense? It's funny to be in Longreach. I've heard the name of this place for so long. It's kind of, I don't know what I was expecting, but kind of not really this. Sort of expecting more like a dusty main drag. Cowboys wearing big bush hats all over the place. But it ain't that. It's funny how even in your own country you can have like these misconceptions about what places are going to be like. That definitely looks like the place you should go and get your coffee in the morning. I think I might be going there after this. It's been funny, so far on the road I've actually managed to get hold of pretty decent coffee just about everywhere I've been. And we're not carrying any in our caravan, which those people who know me would know was a very bold move. It's like for morning walk. Years later, a friend of mine and I used to go out in the bush quite a bit. And he would be wearing an Akubra, probably like 16, 17 years old. And I remember him saying to me, "Oh, you need to get yourself an Akubra." And it was like one of those moments where I could feel in my body, somewhere in my heart, that was supposed to be. It was a thing that was meant to be. That was who I was meant to be. It's like my inner bushman. My inner bushman came exploding out. So I went and bought myself an Akubra, my first one. This is Akubra number 3. That first one I wore until it had a hole in the top, a hole in the side, a hole in the back. The second one, unfortunately, got left in a taxi in Bali. This is number 3. I think there's something nice about that though, isn't there? It's like, I think we all have a bit of inner bushman, don't we? We all have something like inside us that it's kind of like who we are. And I think way too often we probably like repress that like inner bushman, that inner truth, if you like. And it's so important that we don't, because I feel so much more authentic to myself wearing my hat. Even in Sydney, where people are like, "Why are you wearing a hat?" I That's who I am. There's a message in that for all of us. Don't repress your inner bushman. Whatever you do. Ah, what a stunning day. I'm going to go enjoy it a little bit more. Have myself a coffee over at the #1 coffee shop in Longreach. And then hit the road. Thanks for joining me for a walk. I'm Rob Mulligan. I'll see you next time on Morning Walk. Have an awesome day.
7 hours later.
This is incredible. So this morning I was talking about that little green cassette tape of bushwhackers, bush music. And this afternoon we're at Winton, which is just a few hours north. And at the Waltzing Matilda exhibit, wouldn't you believe, there in the second row is the Bushwhackers cassette. The one that I bought out because I listened to it so much. If only I could open this cupboard. Oh no, I love that cassette.